Can I speak freely?
It's my show.
All right, perfect. So with all due respect to Cardinal in general, I don't know all you guys, but it's been amazing. As far as loan officers go, before this one incident, I hated loan officers, man. How's everyone doing? Charles Weinraub, aka the Handsome Homebuyer, Long Island, New York's #1 fix and flip investor. I flip anywhere from 70 to 110 houses a year, plus do commercial development on the quest to do 200 flips in 2022. I also have a master's degree at NYU in real estate development, so I have a lot of real world experience and higher education in regards to real estate. Most excitingly, recently, I am the owner of a company called SQ4D. We are 3D printing houses out of concrete. Best in the world and the first of its kind. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the introductions. Charles, I'm going to start with you since you just kind of introduced yourself, which is great. How did you start as a successful investor, flipper, builder? Okay.
I'm
going to hint you.
Okay.
How did you get started in the business of doing that? I was going to ask you what the question 200 is, but you already talked about that. So how did you get started as an investor and flipper?
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. So basically, education is the #1 thing if you want to do anything, right? You're talking about somebody that barely got out of high school, huge disciplinary problem, constantly getting thrown out of class. So I used to own a Mako Body Shop franchise. When I was 27, I read a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, very cliche, right? And I'm like, oh, that's it. So I'm going to be a professional investor, right? But what does that mean and how does that happen? So to make a long story short, I ended up taking a one-day class at NYU on buying REOs, because I think everybody that gets into real estate thinks, I'm just going to buy bank-owned properties. Banks are giving houses away, right? Super cheap. Obviously, we know REOs are probably the most overpriced things on the market. But when I was there, the professor said, go to the local RIA, join the local RIA. So what I did is I went out and I joined the local RIA. I trained with a mentor for 4 years before I ever did my first deal. And after that, I've done over 400 deals in the last 5 years. So, quick message to everybody before I turn it over to the next question is, if you want to do 100 deals in 10 years, it doesn't mean you have to do equal amounts every year. You could spend the time preparing. As a matter of fact, I encourage you guys, spend the time getting educated. Wait, while other people are doing deals and buying cars and watches and all this bullshit, right? Be humble, spend the time getting educated. You will way outpace those people.
Right. Words of wisdom.
Thank you, buddy.
If you want, I'll take it over Charles and we'll go. Sure. So, you want me to ask you the same question?
This is your show. This is your show.
You actually just did a video on the fact that we won't name anybody or any specific industries.
Oh, we're talking about Cardinal?
I didn't say that.
Can I speak freely?
It's my show.
All right, perfect. So with all due respect to Cardinal in general, I don't know all you guys, but it's been amazing. As far as loan officers go, before this one incident, I fucking hated loan officers, man. It was a fucking nightmare, totally full of shit, problems every time, promised the world, and then I met Sal Rizzolo. Right? So this gentleman right down here, who in over 400 transactions was the first person to really blow my mind, and most importantly, because everybody delivers the first time, right? But they suck the third time after that. Sal gets better every time. How many people here have heard, I'll close your deal in 30 days? Right? 30 days is, how many days is 30 days really? 120. Fucking, if it ever closes, right? Sal closes on average 27 days. So thank you, Sal, because Sal saves me probably $10,000 a deal because it costs me about $150 to $300 a day to carry a house. And if he does it in 30 days and the next guy does it in 90, how much money is that? So sorry to be off.
No, take it over, because it's important to realize, exactly that. We talk about this all the time. What goes into the transaction, who's on the other side of the transaction. There's a builder, there's a seller, there's the realtor, it's costing somebody money if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So always be cognizant of the person on the other side of the transaction, and if you guys are working as a team, truly, you should have that open line of communication. With that being said, I wanted to get into the more fun stuff. The question was going to be about how has social media impacted your business from a financial aspect, and then also from the Aristotle aspect of philosophy. How much more fun are you having because of the social media if you do it the right way?
So social media, a couple things. A, it's a blessing and a curse, right? I love and hate social media. If it wasn't great for business, I wouldn't have it because there's a certain toxic element to it. With that said, to be successful in business, and I think these gentlemen will sign off on that, is you have to be doing 40 different things consistently well all the time. Would you agree with that, guys? But social media is a game changer. One, it's free. So just two things that I've done with social media, and then I'll touch on something real quick to get back to these guys as we run out of time. So the number one way I get business, and I think all you guys do if you quantify it at the end of the year, is from referral sources. From all the, I'm singing and dancing on TV, I'm putting out 50 to 100 pieces of content a day across every platform, but at the end of the day, when I quantify my deal flow, 85% of my deals come from relationships. But I use social media to expand on those relationships because I can't be everywhere. So what I would do is I would go out and do a tremendous amount of networking, and I would meet people. Like hopefully I get to meet 100 people here. Then I'm going to go home, go on Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, and I'm going to request all you guys, and I'm going to weave my way into your life in a non-creepy way. All right? So
Still working on the non-creepy.
Exactly. So the point is, I meet you, I can't be talking to you all the time, but since I'm blasting out 3 pieces of content per platform per day, you're never going to forget about me. And for the realtors in the room, when you get that one house that stinks like cat piss 6 months from now, you're going to call me because you see me all the time. So social media is something that you guys should be using. It has literally transformed my business in every way, shape, or form. I can't quantify it directly. All I know is, all I know is, when I leave here, there's going to be a half a dozen DMs in my Instagram with people saying, hey, Charles, you don't know me, but do you want to buy this house? And that happens every day. I just put out a video that said she slid into my DMs. And it's not the fun way, it's the business way. Every single day, people send me opportunity because of social media. And more importantly, it's about referral partners, right? So all I do is I come up with, anybody in here have a podcast? Everybody in here should have a podcast. You know why? A podcast is the most selfish thing you can do, but nobody realizes it. You have a podcast, right? Sal and I work together because Sal invited me on his podcast. If you want to meet somebody, nobody says no to a podcast unless they're like uber famous because they think it's cool. So what you're going to do is you're going to get content that you can put out there. You're going to make them feel good about themselves because people like talking about themselves. But most importantly, I get to be your friend. Like I want to meet this gentleman right here. He's a big mover and shaker. We sit talking for 45 minutes. He'll take my phone call anytime, and now we're in business. So those are the things you have to do. You have to create experiences using social media for referral partners and people that'll do business with you to make them feel amazing about themselves so they only think of you when they have an opportunity.
Awesome.
That's it right there.
Okay. So there's 3 things I learned from my ex-wife. One of them is, I think Latin women are the most beautiful women in the world. I love you guys so much, but I'm just not built for you. That's 1. 2, go to the dentist every 3 months. And 3, feel your way through life, right? So at the beginning of my career, I sat down with a guy who wanted to lend me money, and he wanted to be my exclusive lender. And I said to him, like, I've done 2 deals. You finance guys that have, do 60 deals a year. Like, I'm just so worried that if the market crashes and I have all these properties, what happens? And he said, if you're going to be as big as you say you're going to be, kid, you're going to know, you're going to feel it before it even happens. And I'm not going to say, like, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was February of 2018. We were cranking, did over 100 houses the year before. And I turned to my buddy and I said, it's over. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I just feel it. It's over. Q4, end of 2019, there's going to be some kind of economic issue. Now listen, I didn't know that COVID was going to sweep the globe and all that, but 1 quarter later, it happened. Same thing with what's going on right now. I'm like, last year was insane. This year with rates and everything, it's going to be good. Next year, still going to be good. End of the year is going to start to get a little dicey. Then it's just Armageddon after that. You have to understand that real estate is a slow-moving ship, but feel your way through it. See what's going on. Don't be blind to it. Make adjustments. Look out and have a vision of what's going to happen over the next couple of years.
That's awesome.